an interesting Amazon coupon update, lower fulfillment FBA fees with the ship-in product packaging program, and geographically targeted sponsored display ads? This and more on this week's episode of The Weekly Buzz.
How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Shivali Patel, and this is the show that is our Helium 10 Weekly Buzz, where we give you all the latest news in the Amazon, Walmart, and e-commerce space. And we also provide you with a training tip of the week that will give you insight into serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Let's see what's buzzing this week. First up, we have a big Amazon coupon update. This week, Bradley was setting up a new launch for a test coffin shelf, and he saw this when setting up coupons. Basically, now you can create coupons for specific audiences, similar to what you see in brand-tailored promotions. For example, having them show up only for customers who might have abandoned your product in their cart. Other alternatives, as you can see here, include things like people who have not purchased recently, nor frequently with varied spend, who are considered at risk. Brand followers who have clicked to follow the brand on Amazon, and so much more if you just keep scrolling. Note that you do need to be brand registered for this, and since they're in the process of rolling it out, you may or may not see it. But it's cool to play around with, especially since this lets you set it up at the ASIN level, compared to what you can do inside of brand-tailored promotions, where promotions are for all the products in your brand. Next up, let's talk about the lower FBA fulfillment fees with ships in product packaging. Amazon recently launched the Ships in Product Packaging program, otherwise known as SIPP, and this used to be known as Ship and Own Container. The gist of it is it allows FBA sellers on Amazon to ship their products using their custom brand packaging without any additional materials added by Amazon. This initiative presents several advantages for FBA sellers, such as lower FBA fulfillment fees for products, an increased ability to connect with customers, and the honorable contribution of environmental sustainability by reducing packaging. The latter being something that decreases the space needed on trucks and ultimately leads to a reduction in the number of trucks required, as well as carbon emissions. It's worth noting that products that are certified under SIPP prior to February 5th, 2024, will automatically qualify for discounted FBA fulfillment fees starting from that date. And the program is currently available in 7 stores: the Canadian, American, Italian, Spanish, German, French, and UK markets. There are no fees to enroll, but there may be costs associated with updating your packaging to be compliant with ships in product packaging requirements. Or if the product that you wish to enroll is fragile or contains sharp items, contains liquids, etc., then it might have to be tested at a lab. The only time a product may be shipped with Amazon added packaging is if a customer is shipping multiple items in the same order, or if they've selected to have the Amazon added packaging. Shipping requirements will remain the same, and some products may have already actually began shipping without the Amazon added packaging because they're actually using machine learning to identify, test, and then certify SIPP compliant products without needing you to take any action. Frustration fee packaging indicates that the package is compliant with SIPP guidelines, and it has a series of other parameters. For example, 100% curbside recyclable materials per applicable laws in the region of sale. It's easy to open, and all content removable by the customer within 120 seconds with minimal use of scissors or box cutters, plus some other things. While there is no separate certification and it won't grant additional discounts, you can enroll those into the SIPP program. You can also enroll variations without having to enroll all of the variations. As for your first arrival date, that's going to be the date where all your units being shipped to the Amazon facilities are SIPP compliant, meaning if your enrollment date is complete on March 1st, but the SIPP compliant packaging is April 1st, then you should input April 1st. If after that date your packaging is not compliant, then you're going to risk decertification. However, your shipments don't need to be compliant when they're waiting for the enrollment approval. There are dimension regulations, and discount rate depends on the size and weight of your product, and you can always request to decertify later if something changes. Customers are going to be notified. I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but they're going to have the option to add Amazon packaging at no additional cost. Now, I wouldn't want to do this for my own products. Putting a shipping label would take away from them as a gift item and just not protect the product that well. But let me know in the comments, would you do this for your products? And for more info, if you're interested in this, then you can visit the SIPP enrollment portal from your news page inside of Seller Central. In other news, have you guys heard about Project Trident? And no, I don't mean the gum brand. Target is actually coming out with a brand new paid membership program as soon as this year. Speaking at a personal level, there are barely any third-party sellers that I know who sell on Target, as it's quite hard to sign up. But hey, maybe if this goes through, that might change. Target might open up its platform and pave the way for more sellers. So what about you? Will you be keeping an eye out? I'm curious. What do you think about the opportunity potential here? And will you get on it right away? Or are you going to wait until it's a little bit more established? Switching gears, sponsored display locations. We know that sponsored display ads give sellers the most customizability for targeting and audiences in sponsored ads that regular sellers have access to outside of DSP. Amazon now has something new in beta that again brings DSP level functionality to any brand registered seller using sponsored display ads. Destiny from BTR Media started a conversation on this post of how some sellers who have access to the functionality in beta have the ability to target locations with their sponsored display ads. This should be cool because say you have a product specifically for the Alaskan market, you obviously wouldn't want that to show up in sunny Florida. You will now be able to geographically target those display ads. Again, for now, this is only sponsored display ads, so it's not something that's going to allow you to target certain keywords or regular sponsored product campaigns just yet, but it's still a pretty cool addition by Amazon. So do any of you guys see this inside of your account? Let me know. Then we have Amazon reporting they've redesigned navigation carousel module so brands can access it within the A+ Content Manager and help you enhance your listings. Modules have been updated to include clickable tabs that are highlighted in a translucent overlay on the image. This is going to help you navigate elements in the carousel. Now, I'm not sure if this is it, but check out this listing from Unkar. There are actually clickable links in their A+ content. And if I can just scroll down here and show it to you guys, this right here, check this out. When I click these 3 dots, it automatically changes over the tabs. So I go from business trips into commute and back into outdoor cafe. All right, just a couple more things here. We have Amazon Rufus. Has anyone already heard about this? If you didn't know, Rufus, great name by the way, is a new expert shopping assistant powered by generative AI that is trained on Amazon's vast product catalog, customer reviews, community Q&As, and web information to assist customers with shopping needs, product comparisons, and recommendations. Rufus is presently launched in beta to a limited number of US customers via Amazon's mobile app, with a gradual rollout planned in the coming weeks. It aims to enhance the shopping experience by providing tailored assistance from general product research to more specific inquiries about products or comparisons between categories. The assistant will enable customers to shop by occasion, by purpose, by specific needs, offering personalized suggestions and insights seamlessly integrated into the Amazon shopping experience. Customers can interact with it by typing or speaking queries into the Amazon search bar. As Amazon continues to invest in generative AI technology, Rufus represents a significant step towards enhancing customer engagement and satisfaction within that Amazon ecosystem. I want to know, do you guys already have access to this as well? I don't yet. Then finally, we have Amazon emphasizing the significance in its shopping experience, but acknowledging the rise of a fraudulent fake review broker industry that exploits the value of reviews. I think we all know fake reviews are against TOS, and Amazon has been quite proactive about stopping them globally, investing resources in combating those fake reviews, utilizing really sophisticated tools and legal action as well. In 2023, legal actions targeted bad actors in US, in China, in Europe, For instance, this case against Tahoe Vine in the US. Despite progress, Amazon recognizes the ongoing threat and vows to continue its efforts to maintain the integrity of customer reviews and hold fraudsters accountable in 2024. If you want to dig deeper, Chris of e-commerce Chris touched on this more recently. I believe it was in the AM/PM podcast episode 379. All to say, look, we know there's a lot more bad players out there, but it's good to see Amazon taking steps to police this kind of thing. Remember, it's never worth it to try to take those illegal shortcuts as much as you want to do them. So with that, that is it for this week's Weekly Buzz. Let me take this opportunity to encourage you to follow our new TikTok page for some cool, fun, educational content regularly. It's helium10_software. So just go to TikTok, open up the app, go to helium10_software in that search bar, and click follow. Now for our new feature alerts. Carrie is going to be sharing with us what new tools Helium 10 has launched this week.
Today, I'm going to be talking with you about some new Helium 10 feature updates. So I'll go ahead and get into it and share my screen. The first thing that we have here is when you actually go to a search. So for example, in this search, we searched coffin shelf and we have all of these great results. What we can do now is we can actually look here and where it says load 30-day sales data on all of these, we can just click on those buttons and we can see the 30-day revenue and the 30-day unit sales for all of our competitors. So this means we don't have to open up the extension and look for all this information. It's actually just a pull down right there. So if you wanted to just quickly look at the revenue while you're browsing a page, you can see quickly what it is. And I think this is kind of cool because then you know, for certain searches where there's a lot of different types of products that are kind of different designs, it's really helpful to just be able to look at which one is selling the best, how much they're selling. So that is one feature update I think is really great. And then the next thing is on the detail pages themselves, we have this new data up at the top of the page. Now you can expand this and you can show more details. And we've got, not only we have the revenue for this listing, but we have the ratings and reviews. We also can go down here. We can see, you know, the fulfillment dimensions, the size tier, and all this information, the FBA fee on the side here. You can also go back and look at sales on different days of the year, and you can change the time frame to all the way back to 2 years. So you can see kind of the growth of each product. You can see, you know, the price and the bestseller rank. You can see ratings and reviews right here. So this is some golden information that you can just see right there, especially if you find, you know, a big competitor and you want to just see what's going on with their product and how long they've been in the game. This is a great tool to be able to see all of that. The next thing, now, I know Bradley mentioned that we have some great tools for the Brazil market. We've got, Cerebro, Magnet, lots of great stuff that he talked about last week in regards to starting to sell on Brazil, the Brazil marketplace on Amazon. And so now we also have our listing builder AI that can help you to create listings in Portuguese, especially if you do not know how to speak Portuguese. So the first thing you need to do is you're going to go under tools and then you're going to click on listing builder AI. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the top right and click on add listing. Now I'm going to just go ahead and say get started from scratch. And then the most important thing is you need to choose the market of Brazil, which is at the very bottom. So I'm clicking on Brazil here, and then I'll click on start building. And then I've actually already created some keywords from Cerebro in Portuguese for our Brazil garlic press. And I found those by just going to Amazon Brazil and doing a reverse ASIN search. And so I'm just going to add those to my bank. So they're going to show up here in the bank. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click next. And on this part, this is really cool because you can input information in English and it's going to create the listing in Portuguese. So for example, we're going to put garlic product characteristics, garlic press, stainless steel, durable, high quality, perfect for home cooks. Okay, so then the next thing is the brand name, which is optional. Okay, so I'm actually going to just create my own brand name here and make it up. Manny's garlic press. And then I'm going to have that at the end of the title. The product name is garlic press. And you can choose the tone, whatever tone you want. I'm just going to put casual here. Target audience, home cooks, chefs. Yeah, home cook chefs, anyone who wants to easily mince garlic. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put it like that. The more input that you put in here, the better. You want to put all your sales points in the product characteristics, but you can put them all in English, which is really cool. If there's anything that you want to avoid in the listing, you can put that there so you can have it avoid certain things. And all you have to do here for the title is click Write It For Me, and it's going to use the keywords that I have in here plus the input that I gave it here to create an optimized title, which is really cool because you don't even have to know Portuguese. Now, obviously you can check this and go to Google translate it, make sure it works right. Or if you want to pay somebody to just kind of review your listings after you've created them to make sure that they make sense, that's probably a good idea. But I think this is pretty amazing to get your listing started. So I'm going to click on use suggestion and so because that looks pretty good. And again, just go to Google Translate and have them translate it. You can check it that way. The next thing is bullet points. You can click Write It For Me. It's going to write all those bullet points in Portuguese, and you'll have an optimized listing with those keywords that you put as well as the input. So we'll let that pop up here. And then at the bottom here, you can also do this for a description and click on Write It For Me. So this all can be written in Portuguese at the click of a button by just putting in these simple inputs in English, and it's going to spit out an optimized listing in Portuguese. All right, so we have these little suggestions. You can click on use suggestions. You can discard it and have it rewrite it, but I'll just go ahead and hit use suggestions, and you can see that it's crossing out the keywords that they've used in the bullet points here. And that is pretty amazing that we've been able to use all these keywords with just the click of a button. It's still writing the description here. And once the description's done, I'm sure all of these keywords will be all crossed out. So most of them are. And so we've got an optimized description there. You can again click use suggestion or you can discard it. And so that is the simple and easy way that you can optimize your listings on the Brazil marketplace. I know a lot of people are excited about the opportunity to sell it in Brazil. So go ahead and try this out. I think it's a great tool to help you to get started on other marketplaces in other languages. Really, really helpful to use AI to get these all written with a click of a button. It's absolutely incredible. So if you haven't checked this out, go ahead and check it out, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Thank you for sharing, Carrie. That's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We will see you next week to see what's buzzing.